Okay, welcome to episode 1.5 of What If Civilization Started Over. You see, I made kind of an oopsie when I recorded this first time. Um, I didn't record the audio for a good portion of it, so here we are. So I'm just gonna go over what happened in that episode, in the recording, so it's a pretty good episode too, so such a shame, but so first off, this map looks very different from the end of the first episode. There's a lot of expansion, and there was 2 wars. There were 3 wars actually, if I remember correctly. First war happened over here where this new country is. Actually, before we get to that, I added major cities and capitals to the map. This isn't exactly how it looked. I did go back and add more, but the capitals are all the same. So, blue countries, capital Istanbul, Crimea, Baghdad. Actually, no, that's not where that's located. Cairo, capital cities. But that was really it. I also did add states, which, yeah. They're states. What do you want? They're squiggly lines. So, besides that, capitals can stay on. First war happened over here between the blue team and the red team. Of course, this little guy's in the way now, but that happens later. So basically, the red team expanded down into this area more, and the blue team didn't really like being cut off like that because they still want to expand. The idea of big point, especially in 2 of these wars, a big point of it is countries didn't like being cut off, and they want to expand. You can see by the end of the episode, the orange team does get cut off, and that's the only country, but we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, an interesting thing that did happen. The red team army blue team army, due to logistical failure, surrounded a decent chunk of the red team force, but the red team went through here and went like that. The next war was between the lime team and the orange and light blue teams. Same kind of basic scenario. The lime team was expanding down here. If you remember the border, the blue team, it was like this. It's about the border. And the blue, oh no, 1 second. Yeah, it was like about that, so. And they had cut, and they cut off a lot of the blue team from getting it, and they were very close to cutting off the orange team from doing it. From expanding any further. So they decided, go oof yourself. So they invaded them, kind of hid for a standstill until logistical failure on the green team's part. Because, these are some of the earliest wars, so people don't really know. But due to logistical failures, the blue team was able to punch through the front lines and win the war. The lime team since expanded further this way. The red team won this war, by the way. I don't think I actually told you that. The red team won this war, and they kind of began cutting off the blue team. By this point, the purple team was settled. I think it was blue team people who settled it. Don't quote me on that, though. Once again, y'all won't know. They kind of started small about this land, and then they started exploring further up into Italy. So, by this point, the blue team was kind of feeling threatened because of these 2 powers right by themselves. Were kind of cutting them off, and they were afraid to do that. They were just gonna, cut them off, expanding. So they colonized a huge chunk of land up here. At this point, they started exploring a lot, but not colonizing, because I don't know. So the red team expanded a lot. They got about all of this, but they didn't really incorporate these lands too well, so they broke away. By this point, the purple team expanded down here. They actually did this very rapidly and surprisingly well, besides down here in the boot. So the gold team broke away, but they weren't too mad about it. By this point, the orange team was this, but they weren't going to fight a two-front war. They can't do that, really, so... the purple team expanded quite a lot. The blue team set it up a colony down here, but they colonized Rhodes and Crete, and then they colonized down here in Africa. And then like 3 boats from the blue team kind of broke away and formed their own nation, and then some people over here also did it. So yeah, that's the basic gist of the video. It has to be shorter because, well, I'm not re-recording the video again, so that's it. Next episode I will be probably doing today, to be perfectly honest. I'll probably be recording today, like right after this, but yeah. Like, subscribe, all that doodads. Check out Adaz's pro thing, probably down in the description. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.